Hi Jonathan, can you tell me about Roamz?
So Roamz is a mobile startup that shows people what's going on around them. So it's a mobile application you can download for iPhone from the App Store, or for Android, or shortly on the web at roamz.com.
And how do you think Roamz is going to change the world?
So Roamz is going to change the world by showing people what's happening around them and things that they wouldn't have seen ordinarily. So what we're trying to surface is kind of serendipitous moments that people would miss out on if they didn't have our product. So the example that I give is this week in Sydney there's the noodle markets going on in Hyde Park. You could be a block away from Hyde Park and actually not know that it's going on. But on social media, it buzzes. People are tweeting and Instagramming photos of their noodles, or sharing photos of the recorded cider that they're drinking. So what Roamz does is it kind of aggregates that content, works out something interesting is going on in Hyde Park, and it pings people in the local area and says, hey, this is something you don't want to miss out on. So the vision for us is where we can get to a point in time where we're so smart that we can get you, we understand where you are, we understand where your friends are, we understand what's happening around you. We can really pair you with experiences and places that you'd miss out on if you didn't have our product.
So you're going to give us a social life?
Hopefully you've got a social life already, but maybe we can enhance your social life.
See yourself and your business in 6 months' time, because you're a startup now.
Yeah, 6 months is like a long way away for a startup, but I suppose what we're trying to build out is a product that connects people with places. So that's the consumer proposition is, how do we connect people with things they're looking for? So whether it's a great bar, whether it's a great coffee shop, whether it's a great park to take your kids, like how do we facilitate connecting people with the real world? The business proposition which we're rolling out over the next 6 months is, how do we give merchants insight from what people are saying in the local area? So this kind of social media world is like pretty scary, and there's a huge amount of data, and for a normal business or brand it's pretty tough to kind of work out how to navigate those waters. So we're building out some tools where businesses and brands and small businesses can get snippets of information which can help them to understand their business and their customers, and also giving them some tools to generate demand on social media. So making it a little bit easier for them to sort of generate and navigate the waters of social.
So you're thinking about the entrepreneurs and business. So tell us about your first entrepreneurial experience as a kid.
My first entrepreneurial experience as a kid is a little bit embarrassing. So when I was about 14 in high school, I saw that there was like people trading lollipops in school, and it was kind of a contraband. So in high school we weren't really allowed to have lollipops. So I through my dad's pharmacy found a wholesaler who would wholesale me Chupa Chups. At that time, it was pretty hard to get your hands on Chupa Chups, and I think I bought them for like 15 or 16 cents. And I had a whole bunch of friends who would sell them, out of their lockers. It was like an illegal activity at school. And it grew to such a scale that I got a call from the state manager of Cadbury that within like 6 months I was, I think, the highest customer of Chupa Chups in New South Wales. It's like I was buying more than like small supermarkets, and we were literally going through like 20 or 30 tubs a day. It got ridiculous. Like my parents eventually had to shut down my illegal activity because it was just like taking over our home.
Fair enough. Okay, so you're an entrepreneur at heart.
I think so, yeah. Started with lollipops.
So what popular entrepreneurial advice would you disagree with?
Popular. I think there's probably a trend at the moment towards this whole kind of lean startup, like do something really quickly, get your hands dirty, validate it, kill it if it doesn't work. I think that's valuable, like that whole idea of prototyping and getting feedback and iteration. I worry though that some of the greatest businesses that have been created in the last decade might not have happened if they sort of got shut down after 2 or 3 hard nights. So I think it's valuable to teach the sort of lean philosophy to an entrepreneur. At the same time, I think it's sort of valuable to let people go with their gut and their judgment and know what signs to look for about whether a product's working or not, and sort of stick it out. Because with my previous startup, we were going for 10 years. If we would have killed it in the first year or two, nothing would have happened. But because we persisted, we learned from the experience, we continued to change the product, we eventually built out a company that had several 100,000 customers and people around Australia and New Zealand. So I think stick with your gut, and persistence is sort of a valuable entrepreneurial trait.
Pays off. Well, Instagram had version 3 or 4 before we actually got the real Instagram.
Yeah, well, like Bourbon, their first product was kind of a location-based product, and they persisted. They tried a few different things, and ultimately, they had a huge success.
And just lastly, what advice would you offer for people that want to start to build their own startup?
There's heaps. I think probably network. I think the value of creating relationships with friends in the ecosystem, overseas, other people who are doing similar things to you is really valuable. And kind of you don't appreciate the value of your network until you actually need it, when you need to pick up the phone to get someone to help you. I think the other thing is believe in yourself and back yourself and believe in your vision. And I think validate your ideas and get people to what you think, they think. But at the same time, like, at the end of the day, you're the one who's going to be building the business and you have to believe in your product. So, if people say, oh, we're not sure, I mean, a lot of people in Australia will sort of be naysayers and say you can't do it. But I think the entrepreneurs that I've seen have been successful, kind of risen above and said, yes, I can. And they've built really cool businesses.
So confidence is key by the sound of it.
Confidence, networking, definitely. And backing yourself.
All right, thank you, Jonathan from Roamz.
Thank you.